Hey everybody, welcome back into the AM show. It's a terrific Tuesday, you guys. And if you were with us right at the beginning of today's show, you know that we teased a flat out fantastic guest. And guess what, brothers and sisters? He is in the building with us. So wherever you are, I want you guys to infuse that enthusiasm, stand to your feet, and I want the AM show to give a warm welcome to producer, entertainer, songwriter, and arranger, Mr. Aric B. Fleming Jr. Yes, Aric. What's up? What's up? Yes, I am so excited that you are here. Thank you so much for gracing the AM show this morning with your swag. I mean, seriously.
Thank you.
And then, of course, this incredible bio that we're going to get into, all of your accomplishments, and then, of course, your instrument. We are just super stoked to have you here. So, you guys, as just mentioned, Aric is a producer, you guys. He is a director. He's an entertainer, singer, and performer. And I know that you started singing at the tender age of 5.
Yes.
I know, yes, 5 years old. Even before me, I started about 7.
Whoa.
And I know that,
Come on,
I know.
church.
Yeah, it's church. And I know that your grandfather, am I correct, that your grandfather really served in the church, and your family, including your grandfather who has transitioned, really.
Your father. My grandfather's actually still the pastor of the church.
No.
He's still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. But I know your family served as such an inspiration when it came to your instrument.
Yeah.
So tell us about that, when you first fell in love with music. Tell us about that.
I'll never forget. I tell this story all the time. I was in the car with my mama on the way to church, actually. It was a Sunday morning, and I heard for the first time the sweet hymn, His Eyes on the Sparrow. But it was the arrangement by Tanya Blunt and Lauryn Hill from Sister Act 2. So if you ever seen that movie, you've seen them and so I never forget, I was hearing Lauren's voice and my eyes just balled into tears and I couldn't get over it. And ever since then, I wanted to sing. And I said, I'm going to sing for the rest of my life. So that was the beginning of it. But my grandfather was very instrumental in making sure that I had the platform and the training. He would make me get up. It was a no-brainer to know, like on Sunday morning, if I'm sitting in the front row and he needs some space to fill, come on up here and sing a song.
Yeah, you're getting
okay, I got to make sure I know what song I'm going to sing. It was usually His Eyes on the Sparrow.
Yeah.
But what song are you going to sing? How are you going to sing it? And then there were like several times where I would get up and sing. He's like, I don't like what you did. We're going to teach you another song.
Oh, no.
And you need to get a new song. So he was, like how Whitney's mama was. He was he was very like instrumental in making sure that, I performed to the best of my ability and to pull out what was inside of me that I didn't even know I had.
Sounds like Joe Jackson a little bit.
Yeah,
my father was like that.
Not to the abusive, but definitely on like the discipline and performance side. Yeah,
my father was like that. You off note.
Yeah.
In front of everybody. You off note today, or you sound nasally. Open up. Your head voice. I'm like, okay.
He used to say, if I didn't do so well, he would sit me down and I'd say, well, Pop, how did I do? You ain't get it today.
Yes. Our families are like that.
That's good though, because it pushes you.
It does.
It pushes you to be better. And I we talk about this on the show sometimes. We live in the era of just like kind of participation trophies, and it doesn't really push people to go to the best of their ability.
Exactly.
So it's able to push you, but I wonder, where was that difference though? Because I feel like sometimes when a kid is thrown into something that maybe their parents or their grandparents like, but do they like it? Do they not like it? Do they not know? When was that switch for you where it was like, okay, no one's forcing me to do this. I actually genuinely have a passion for music and songwriting and creating. When was that moment for you?
It's so funny that you bring that up because there are other segments or moments and pockets of my identity in my life, like in ministry, where I felt more so, and still in some ways, like I definitely feel called, of course, like to do the work that I do. But in a lot of ways, the expectation has always been that I was going to go back and take over the church or do something related to that. And so I decided, I think towards this answer, I decided that music definitely was going to be the path I was going to continue to do regardless. And so finding that niche at like 5 years old and then continuing to like sing and like starting to do worship at teen church. all of those things and those experiences, and even collaborating with different artists, gospel artists, growing up and singing background and traveling with some of them, getting some of that experience. Oh, and this is the other thing I got to mention too. So my story is pretty crazy. I can talk about it all day long. But so while my grandfather's influential, like in the gospel world, most people have no idea that my urge to want to be professional in this came from being inspired by a very popular R&B artist, and he probably doesn't even know this, but it's, of all people, it's Keith Sweat.
Really?
Yeah, and the reason it's Keith Sweat is because my dad has been his barber for the last 20
Stop
years.
it! Shut
So I grew up going over to his house, seeing like the mansion and playing tag with his kids in the house, and that was like, inspirational to me. I was like, Dad, you can be a professional singer and performer and live like this. And he was like, yeah, that's why I brought you here.
Nobody.
I want you to see who can love you.
Right? Nobody.
It's so crazy. I was too young to know them songs back then. But when I got older, I discovered, I was like, oh, this is what my dad was trying to expose me to. And so when we later on talked about it, I was like, Dad, you really like set me up. He was like, man, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get you to see there's a whole world, beyond what you're used to, and also what you can become in this.
Yeah. No, you're so right. A whole world beyond than what we're used to. Because growing up, I concur with that. Growing up in the church, if you are not under the right leadership, it can feel very confined. You can feel suffocated. Like, we have to dress like this. We have to talk like this. We can't listen to this music. We can't go out to have fun. And I say all of that because I know my brother, not even really switched, because he didn't switch. You incorporated R&B. So of course you still sing gospel. That's our soulful roots. We do that. Yeah. But you sing R&B as well.
I do.
So talk to me about two things. One, your love concerning R&B, and two, I know that you're working on debuting your own R&B album.
Oh, yes.
Let me tell you something, Aric. You did not have to sit on that stool like that with your little chest hair showing, wooing every girl in the room and having everybody snapping their fingers and squinting their eyes, just really zoned into you. You got this whole flair and swag about you that I love. Talk to me about your love for R&B.
Oh, yes. I love it. So growing up, of course, obviously, gospel is very influential. And a lot of R&B artists that I listen to are influenced by gospel artists as well.
Yes.
But so growing up, I hear the Clark sisters, right? But then I get exposed to Kim Burrell, right, and those voices, and then I hear Brandy, right, and I'm like, okay, wait, there's some correlation here. I hear the Clark sisters, and I hear Beyonce, and I'm like, there's something going on. Then I hear Daryl Coley, and then I hear Tank, and I hear Joe, and I hear Fred Hammond.
Joe was a pastor, son.
Of course, comes up in church, right? Same similarities, right? Like these folks who you hear Whitney, right, but you hear Aretha first, right? Like, so it's so much influence kind of cross happening, and that was actually what I wrote about in my dissertation too. I think
yes, you did the Renaissance.
We don't talk a lot about how those two worlds intersect anyway. But my love for R&B is strictly because I have a deep love for gospel, and it's because I see that where R&B goes, it goes beyond the four walls of the church. Generally, most people, I feel like there's like a sub feeling that rests at the root of both R&B and gospel music. And I feel like people who don't go to church don't necessarily know that feeling is centered in the same roots. And so if you hear R&B music, I'm thinking of it as like, okay, this is an opportunity to take this feeling or this sub kind of spiritual experience that I believe is happening in both R&B and gospel music, taking it to the world. So because what happens is when you start packaging it in gospel, or when you start packaging it in the four walls of the church, people get scared. And they start to kind of feel like a disconnect, or do I belong? And it's not that, like, so I love somebody like Fantasia. Who will get up, she's gonna get up and sing her R&B, but at the end of it,
you want to say hallelujah.
You're gonna get, but see, like, at the same time, Fantasia's like, okay, she's singing her song, and then when she gets to the gospel song, she'll pull somebody up who's like dealing with with like financial troubles, or like I remember one show I was watching, she was holding the hand of somebody who was dealing with breast cancer and singing to them, almost singing them through it. It was like
ministry.
a spiritual experience. That's what I'm saying.
It's ministry.
It all of it is.
Yeah.
Well, all of it can be. Not all of it is, but all of it can be. And I think for myself and for my own music, that's the goal.
Right, and that speaks to like evolution. That was mine. I remember like you submitted your dissertation right before me, and it was evolution rather than revolution. Stop revolting because it doesn't sound like tradition. We're not trying to eradicate tradition. We are trying to propel you to evolve. Because so many of those R&B artists, they came out of the church. Pharrell, R. Kelly, Beyonce, LaToya Luckett, they came out of the church. That's why you hear that soulful spirituality. That's why you hear it. That's why you hear it in their melodies.
Yeah, no, and the way that you even speak about it, the passion that you have for it, I can see why it's just so deeply rooted inside of you. And I think, and that's how you're like, oh, no, this is what I want to do with my life. But speaking of just, the passion that you have, what's your creative process like when it comes to writing? Is it different from when you're getting into gospel than when you want to do an R&B album? Or is it just the same where it just speaks to you internally? What's that process like?
So yeah, I would say they're very similar, right? I pray all the time. And my prayer life is very like active in a sense. Like I could be walking and I'll be like, God, what's going on? What we doing? So it's very conversational. But that's also, I feel like, how the muse comes, right? Like, so my antennas are always on. I can be inspired by this wall right here and want to write a song about the wall, but it's influenced with the same sounds and the same like, fervor and intention, right, that I would put in a gospel song. So I start with an idea generally, or I may start with some instrumental. If I'm writing from scratch, I'm starting with melodies in my head, and then I would have to like collaborate with somebody who maybe plays like certain instruments, and I collaborate with a lot of bands in Boston. So I'll usually, reach out to some of those folks and want to collaborate and make some music. But if I'm doing it on my own, or like I have my own guitar, generally I would strike some chords, and whatever kind of melodic flow generates out of that, and then once I've gotten the idea and I want to write to it, I start to conceptualize, and I kind of free flow a little bit until it forms into a real song. I don't always get to like just freestyle it out until it's like a full out song. My first draft, I usually have to like free form it melodically and then like make the words make sense until the story is actually complete and something that's relatable.
I love when songs are not perfect. I love when they're raw. I love when they're not. It sounds a little bit too computerized. I don't like that. Where the background, it sounds like you're hiring the same girl. That sounds like the same girl on Jessica Reedy, Kirk Franklin, Ricky Dillon. Like it sounds like you guys are hiring the same girl. I like distinct voices. I think that's what connects the audience. And speaking of music, I know that you actually worked on like the vocal backgrounds for the song Stand Up, which was actually my favorite rendition, which was sung by Cynthia Erivo for the movie Harriet. Speaking of Harriet Tubman, who freed all the slaves back there during slavery and discrimination. Tell me about your experience, because that song, that song is a Negro spiritual, essentially.
So I have to. So that's not my actual vocal on the recording that you hear. I was in the room to demo background vocals when the songwriter is writing. So the songwriter is Joshua Campbell, who's a very close friend of mine, and the producer, the original producer, is Gabe Fox Peck, and they're both doing incredible music. They actually have a project coming out together right now. Shout out to them. Shout out to Joshua and Gabe. Love y'all. So anyway, I had just left getting my hair retwisted, just having a regular day, and Joshua texted me and was like, I need you to come to the studio. I'm working on something really quick, and I didn't know what he was working on. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like I'm always down to collaborate. So I come in the house. I think I had some Popeyes or something, and all I hear is these cowbell sounds and like this track, and I hear him humming over. He does like this, but he's so methodical in how he does it. I love Joshua, but he's writing literally in like a legal pad. It's the smallest little notepad. He's got this. I've been walking, with my face turned to the side, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good." So he's like, "Oh, I've been in conversation with some folks about like submitting this. They may select this song, but I need you to come help me do some background vocals." So we did. Stand up, take my people with us. So we finished it. They submitted it. Next thing I know, there's an Oscar nomination.
Yep.
There's a Golden Globe nomination.
Yep.
There's a Grammy nomination.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is incredible to see this thing from a seed, right?
Yeah.
To like,
Say it.
hello?
Hello. Hello.
To get to the point where the world has heard it, right?
Yes.
Like, and it's on, you know, it's spread all over the world internationally. Everybody's singing it. Church kids are doing,
Oh, yeah.
you know, moms and
Oh,
dances
yeah.
to it. And it's a Black history staple
It
at this
is.
point because of the film, right?
It
And how
is,
important it was to
yeah.
the film. Just a phenomenal experience. And I'm so grateful to those brothers for allowing me to step in the room and be a part of that.
Weight on my shoulder.
Oh, yes.
I love it. I also know
Yeah.
that you worked with Kirk, like you worked with Grammy-nominated artists
Yeah.
who've worked with
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin,
Yep.
Jessica Reedy.
Yeah.
You've been around. You just sung the national
I
anthem.
did, I did.
Tell us about that experience as well. Because that's such a common song, of course, very patriotic, but it can be hard to sing. Do
a
you
hard
know how
song.
many people mess up the national?
Some of my favorite
Have
artists
messed it up.
have butchered the national anthem.
Absolutely.
And so for me, first of all, I'll tell you why it was so big for me. It was Father's Day. It was the Red Sox versus the Yankees. And it was Sunday prime time.
Okay,
right?
okay.
It was on television. My part wasn't televised, but it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And I had just come off of singing. I had sang 2 gigs the night before.
Yeah.
And I was mostly hoarse. I was so scared. I had been drinking tea all morning,
Yeah, I
all
get
day.
that.
But it all came together. I stand out there on the field, 38,000 plus people,
Ooh.
the largest audience I've ever performed for. And I'm like, I have to sing this song, and I got to sing it right, because if I do not, I will never outlive it.
Yeah. You're not gonna live that
And
down.
so I just remember standing right there, and I got nervous for a second, but then I said, well, you can either run now or you can decide to face up and get it done.
Yeah.
And I said, we're gonna do it. We worked this long to get here, and we're gonna do it.
Oh,
so we
yeah.
got up and we sang with what we had and got through that song. The other thing that most people don't know is that you can't really hear yourself. There's no talkback or monitor.
Oh, that's
so
terrible.
So you have to trust your voice. So that was another stepping stone for me. I was realizing, like, wow, I actually trusted my voice.
Yeah.
I got through it, and I had to do it in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. You have to do it, and you can't go over. So like you.
Those
get through
monitors
it.
are an issue. No, it's an issue. When you're up there singing and you don't have monitors, like, you really have to trust that you're on note.
Yeah, that's a lot of background that I didn't know about when you're singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Because my initial question was going to be, why do you think some of these prominent artists mess up so much? But maybe it's because they're not given the tools. And then I wonder, why aren't you given the tools to kind of succeed when you know every single game there is somebody that sings the national anthem? Why wouldn't you have that prepared? I don't understand that.
Well, from
the production side.
It depends on some
Places.
companies and organizations
Okay.
have, things in place for artists to actually be able to hear themselves. Like if you do a basketball game,
Yeah.
I think they might, and it might because it's enclosed.
Yeah.
I think because it was an outdoor field.
The acoustics.
Yeah, those acoustics are just so hard, and Fenway is such an old stadium. It's the
Yeah.
oldest stadium in the country, so that feedback is just kind of, it could be difficult to contend with if you have monitors on the floor.
Yeah.
So specifically for my situation, it would be difficult. I don't really know how to answer for the
for
professionals.
everybody else.
I don't know. I'm like, some of y'all, I'm like, y'all been singing and y'all do tributes and y'all done sang for Shaka Khan and
What
for
happened?
Aretha, but this particular one, I don't know what's good. Maybe it's just a bad day. I don't know.
I
But
know.
I'm grateful that we got through it.
You got
Like,
through
we
it.
got through it.
What was that feeling like when you finished?
Oh,
you
my
sang
goodness.
that final note and everybody cheered.
We got at the home of the red. And you hear this large eruption of life. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm overjoyed. I'm overstimulated. And then I had a photographer there to capture the moment, because I was like, we gotta. We actually collaborate regularly. He does my videos. Shout out to Sam. And he was like, so this is my city. He was like, I know my city. He was like, we need to walk around.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. He was like, we need to walk around. I'm thinking we just, snapping some pictures for some content. No, he was like, we need to walk around because they need to see you, because they want to see you.
Yeah.
There was nowhere I could go in that stadium without somebody stopping me. Oh my God, weren't you the guy that sang, oh, can I have your autograph? Oh, can I take a picture? Oh, can I have? And that type of my marketing manager was like, this is like a foreshadowing of what you're gonna walk into.
Absolutely.
And so that's what it felt like. It felt
Absolutely.
like, oh, this is what I'm heading into.
You are so like mesmerizing. I know we have to let you go so you can sing, but you guys, we're gonna cut to a first video just to show you guys a little treat, like of what you. It's a little snack. A little snack of what you are in for, you guys. Let's take a look at the first video of Mr. Aric B doing his thing.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
And the rockets' red glare.
Yeah, come on, sing.
The bombs burst. No, it's about you, my friend. That is you in action. Oh, I love it. I'm telling you. So, you guys, for those of you who don't know, Aric, of course, he does his music, but Aric actually was my classmate.
What?
We actually received our doctorate degrees together. If we can get that picture of Aric, there we are.
Yeah.
We were so hot, Aric. I was so hot. We had on garments. I said, Aric, if they don't hurry up with this ceremony. We were so hot that day, you guys. That was May 18th. Right?
May
oh boy,
18th.
May 18th, 10 a.m. at Union Theological Seminary. We both got our Doctor of Ministry degrees in social justice from New York Theological Seminary.
Shout out to Dr. Willie Francois.
Dr. Willie Francois, we love you. We were in his cohort. He holds it down. So before we cut to the second singing video, tell people about your experience at Morehouse College. That's where you graduated from. And then New York Theological Seminary. That's where we received our doctorates from. And then now you work at Harvard University. Just bundle that up for us. Tell us about those experiences.
All right. So I wanted to go to Berklee College of Music to study music first for undergrad. Did not get accepted. They told me no.
Okay.
Morehouse was the only school to accept me.
Yeah.
I'm a legacy at Morehouse, though, by 3 generations. My dad was a Morehouse student, but he had passed as a senior.
Ooh.
But my grandfather graduated in '86.
Wow.
So I end up going to Morehouse. I make this turn to study religion, start into ministry, and that opens the doorway for me to go to Harvard to get my master's. So I go to Harvard, get my master's, start working there after I graduate because I don't have any plans. That turned into an administrative job, which is where I work now.
Yeah.
And then I continued right after because I had wanted to go to do PhDs, but they didn't accept me.
Yeah.
So then the program came around, the cohort, and then we joined. The next thing I knew, it was 3 years later, and we graduated.
And And Aric, it was hard.
So,
it was hard work.
It's interesting that you say hard because for a while I was trying to figure out what the challenge was going to be for me. And the challenge wasn't like the coursework. I feel like I had been doing coursework for so long. It was the paper. When we got to the dissertation, it was like, no, you think this was, a breeze now. You're going to have to, because it takes a great deal of discipline. It takes an enormous amount of time management and focus. And you have to make sure that you pick and start on a topic that really, really interests you, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a hole trying to fight through not being motivated enough to complete the project.
And then you won't graduate.
And you won't graduate.
No, you really will. They'll tell you won't graduate. It's not like an easy peat. No, it's hard. I say Union. I say that's like the theology school, like Harvard is for law students. Because people may not be familiar. If you want something to relate it to, I promise you we're not saying it because we went there. We're not saying it because we went there. Union, that's the theological religion school, like for Harvard, for law school. It's hard. I was crying. I said, honey, can I drop out? They told no, you can't. No. It's hard.
Gotta finish.
How were you able to find that balance, though? Because you talk about how hard it was, how difficult it is, that time management between what you love, which is your music and your creativity, and then also being able to complete your doctorate. Did that impede at all on your creativity? or did it help inspire you?
The only way I got through that program was because I could marry the two.
Yep.
It was, I wrote on sacred and secular music, and my impetus, right, was James Brown. He was the beginning of it, because my sponsor was Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
And the seed that shot me all the way like into the project was finding out that Al Sharpton was James Brown's road manager for years.
Yes.
And after I discovered that, I was like, oh.
Really?
Yes. He
I
talked
gotta
about the
do
Renaissance
this.
and everything.
I said, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if y'all are watching. Do not sleep on your dreams. Okay.
Yes.
If you have an idea, go for it, because you never know where it's gonna lead you.
Absolutely.
I had a conversation with Al Sharpton, one conversation, and it just sent me all the way into the project to complete it, and I was very happy to do it.
He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
My
he's great.
aunt helped raise Al Sharpton.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He used to sleep in her bed when he didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
When he was doing his advocacy and for equality, equity.
Yeah.
My aunt, who's actually just transitioned maybe about 2 months ago.
Wow.
My great aunt Tilly, Diane, she took care of Al Sharpton.
Wow.
And I said, Reverend Al, I'm Judea Hartley, Tilly's niece.
Yeah.
He said, Tilly's niece? I said, yes. He said, I know your aunt. I said, I know, sir.
Wow.
That's why I'm calling you. He was the guest speaker during one of our classes as well. For sure.
Yeah.
So I also know that you have traveled with an England group, a singing group from England, the Night Shift.
Oh,
Oh, I read your bio.
You did, you got it.
The Night Shift.
New England,
England, yes.
So the New England metro area, I currently sing in a corporate wedding and corporate band.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that since about, March, April? And oh my goodness, the thrill of a lifetime.
Wow.
Some of the greatest musicians and singers I've ever heard in my life,
Wow.
I get to sing with, and they are just fantastic. I'm telling you, like, it's crazy that how my life has kind of like taken this 180 turn in a way, because I never thought I was gonna actually be able to go out and pursue music. But I feel like spiritually God was placing me in the spot that I'm in right now, so that I could find out and develop in the ways that I needed to, because I never thought I would be singing with who I sang with. If I told you who I sang with, you would be like, oh my God, really? Yeah. It's that incredible, but I had to wait on it. And I had to wait
and
to be put
set
in position.
Yes.
I thought I was gonna have to go to Berkeley in order to do what I'm doing. I am doing the work that Berkeley kids do when they graduate.
Yes.
I'm in the circle now.
Yes.
But I didn't think this was how it was gonna happen, so I had to wait and see.
That's
Make
a
your own
testimony
path,
to,
right?
like, if it's for you, it's for you.
It's for you.
I promise you. If that door is for, then we're gonna go to the second singing video. Then we're gonna actually hear you sing, my friend. But if it's for you, nobody can stop that. They think they can.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about that in ministry. You think you can stop it and step on it. You don't have power to do that.
Yeah.
If it is for Aric, if it's for Olivia, whoever it is, Nadine, whoever that is, if that great door is for them, it is for them. We don't care about your opinions. You don't have the, people so egotistical. You don't have you don't have the power to stop that. You really, really don't.
Yeah.
So I love that. With that being said, y'all, this is the second and the last treat that I'm going to give you guys before Aric blesses us live. Let's take a look at this second video of him singing. Okay, more and more. Okay,
tell us about that music video.
Sexy, more and more.
Yeah, that was my most recent music video. It just dropped. What a creative collaboration. Just Be Snappin', who directed and did the film work. Riss Rose, who's the dancer, she's incredible dancer. We just had a fun time.
Yeah.
I think it was just fun. I got to put my swag on.
Yeah, you sure did.
I got to, really just get into it, get into the character, get into the vibe. Something it's very different from anything I've done before, but really, really getting and like deep into the R&B. So that was definitely a treat. So we got more stuff coming too.
Yes! Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, you guys, what's up next is Aric. Aric will be performing 2 of his original hit songs. I am super excited. If I were you, brothers and sisters, I would hold on to my seat.
And I will tell you, one of them is an exclusive, never been heard before. Never, not even out. This is an AM show exclusive.
Oh, I love it. You guys, yes, make sure you stick around to hear Mr. Aric B. Fleming, you guys, as he blesses us with our instrument. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back after these AM messages. We're going to give you more and more. We're going to give you more and more. There he is, our special guest for today, Mr. Aric B is in the building. Yes, you guys, so as promised, my good friend Aric is going to be singing 2 of his original songs. So wherever you are, I want you to stand to your feet, get excited, and show your love for Mr. Aric B as he performs his first original song entitled Nanya. Make some noise, everybody!
See, you been riding around with the top down, trying to be low-key. You know I've been locked down since the first time you laid your eyes on me. 2 blades with the stunner shades on, while the radio playing my song. And they still wanna know what's good, what the deal is between you and me. And we ain't gotta keep this private, but if you just wanna hide it, cause when your energy is all over me, that's when they know we be lying. So when they asking questions like what it is, it ain't no stress, we just vibing. Cause when we lie, they be in their feelings. But the love we got, it ain't your business, ain't your business. The love we got, that ain't your business, ain't your business, that ain't your business. Cause the problems come with jealousy. So let's keep the peace for you and me. Cause the love we got, it ain't your business. None your, none, oh, none your, none your. We be up in the club trying to be discreet, but they really don't know when we get home it's finna be me, you, and them. We ain't gotta keep this private, no. But if you wanna hide it, cause when your energy is all over me, that's when they know we be lying. So when they asking questions like what it is, it ain't no stress, we just vibing. Cause when we lie, they be in their feelings. The love we got, that ain't your business, ain't your business. The love we got, that ain't your business, ain't your business, no. Cause the problems come with jealousy, so let's keep the peace, keep the peace for you, keep the peace for you and me. Ooh, yeah. It's no, not your business, no, not your business, no. Hey, one time, hey. Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Because what we shared ain't your business.
Exactly. What's the inspiration behind that? You're going to tell me it's not my business. I don't know. Are you going to tell me?
Tell us, Aric.
When you in that situation and your friends, it's like your energy's real different. You smiling a lot, and you just trying to keep it, on your own. You don't want nobody to know yet because you ain't trying to spoil it or sabotage, you know what I'm saying? And they like, what's going on with you? You're like, it ain't your business.
Just chill.
It ain't your business.
It's your business.
I love it. love it. I love it. Oh, God. You guys, wait, Aric, before we go into your next original song, right? Exclusive. Tell folks where they can find that song.
Yes. So you can find that song on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. It's streaming on all platforms. It's called Nunya, Nunya.
I love it. I love it. Boy, you can sing with you guys. The fun is not over because Aric right now, right here, is going to perform his second original song, which guess what, folks, is an exclusive. Debuting on the AM show. We get first dibs. We get first dibs. Nobody else has heard this song. He has not performed this, you guys. So would you show your love once again for the talented, amazing Mr. Aric B as he performs Risk It All, baby. Woo!
Here we are, standing at a crossroads, wondering what to do next. We've been texting, calling for some time now, but we ain't made no moves yet. You feeling me, feeling you, and though we're afraid to take it there, what if love was easy? We would know where to go from here, but I'm scared and you scared to jump in the deep and swim. So what if we get hurt? What if we get hurt? What if we don't last? So what if we don't last? What if we don't make it? Oh, what if we crash? We'll never know if we don't try. I'd rather love and fail than not at all. But how can we run if we don't crawl? Baby, let's tear down these walls. 'Cause for you I will risk it all. For you I risk it all. For you I will risk it all. For you I risk it all. Risk it all. Sometimes you gotta take that risk. Sometimes it's worth it. Yeah. I've been in many situations that I let pass me by that could have changed my life. Now I regret. So this time I'm not gonna let my fears keep me from living my life. See you feeling me, I'm feeling you, and though we're afraid to take it there, what if love was easy? We would know where to go from here, but I'm scared and you scared to jump in the deep and swim. So you say, what if we get hurt? What if we get hurt? So what if we don't last? What if we don't make it? What if we don't make it? What if we crash? We'll never know if we don't try. And I'd rather love and fail than not at all. But how can we run if we don't crawl? Baby, let's tear down these walls. 'Cause for you I will risk it all. For you I'll risk it all. For you I'll risk it all. For you I risk it all. Risk it all, 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 risk it all. risk it, risk it, risk it all.
Feeling some kind of way. I was like, oh,
we were like this.
Thinking about it, I was like starting to tear up a little.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
Wait, hold on, Nay. Sorry, girl moment. Me too.
Right?
Me too.
Sorry, we're fans.
We have those. We have those even with Freddie. Girl moment. Nay, me too. Because I was listening to him. I'm like, okay, I heard him. I'd rather love and that fail than for me not to experience that at all.
Right.
And it just really spoke to the demand of vulnerability that real healthy relationships puts on you. And I love that. Where did that come from? What was the inspiration for that?
Oh,
what's her name?
So, you know, like what is, and I think we all kind of go through this, right?
Yeah.
Like so many people are scared to take that step into the next place. I mean, like, you know, y'all been texting, you calling, but you like, I've been hurt before, and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to go after what I know I really, really want in my life. And so it's like, nah, but even beyond love in all things, take the risk. It's better to live. It's better to love than to not do it at all. Because you'll wake up and you'll look at your life and you're like, dang, I should have did that.
I should have, could have, would have.
And how quick time passes.
Very fast.
And I think that's the thing. Like, you have a hit there, my friend.
Oh,
because
thank you.
when I think whenever a song can be universally accepted, like we can all, you're singing that maybe about someone, maybe not about someone. Jadea's thinking about someone she's listening to. I'm thinking about someone. Right? We all can connect to it in our own ways and in different pieces. That's how you know a song is going to be very successful. Seriously.
Yes.
And can we talk about that guitar?
Yeah.
That's it.
Now, I gotta say, I love acoustic guitar.
Yes.
I think the acoustic guitar is my vocal pair. It is the thing that matches the best with my voice. Yeah.
And so did that come before or after the lyrics?
Yeah, that was first. That was first.
So you wrote to that.
We wrote to that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's something about that. It's just so simple.
It just pulls you in, right?
It's beautiful, but it pulls you in and breaks it down so we can really just like, okay, we have this going, but now I'm listening to your words a lot with all this other extra stuff, isn't there?
Yes. Exactly.
Right?
That was going to be my last feedback. That extra stuff. Sometimes when you put too much drums on it or too many horn strings, sometimes when you do too much, the track comes across busy. It's too busy. Sometimes an acoustic guitar and that instrument and those strong words, that's what we need.
That's what you need.
That's what we need to connect, and we certainly did connect. Well, let me say thank you.
Absolutely.
Let me say thank you so much for coming on the AM show and performing those two beautiful hits. Nanya, you guys need to go check that out and download that. And your exclusive hit, right? Exclusively performed for us. Risk It All. Can people find that on Apple Music, Spotify?
It's not out yet.
It's not. Okay, because it is exclusive, but it's coming.
But it is coming.
It's coming. Aric, tell folks where they can find you. Give them your social media handle.
Yep. So everything at Aric B Music. So ARICB Music. It rhymes with R&B. So if you forget it, you can kind of, pair that up a little bit. So, but yes, everywhere at Aric B Music, YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, all of that. You can find me at that same handle.
I'm so happy to be your friend.
Yes.
Be your friend, my good friend.
Thank you so much for coming on. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Aric B.
Incredible. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Definitely, guys, go and follow him, listen to his music. You know that I will be, and I'm going to be risking it all.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with more of the show on this Tuesday. Woo!